High achievers naturally eliminate emotional and physical obstacles so they can optimize their life for higher achievement. Welcome. You have just entered the Genesis Zone. Hello, and welcome. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Dr. Brian Brown. So things are changing around here a bit. If you haven't noticed, for those who've been following me for some time, you're probably aware that I started a podcast in early 2019. Now, I had been wanting to venture into the territory of podcasting for quite some time and just finally took the dive. So the Optimal CEO podcast was born in early 2019. In my mind, it would attract C-level entrepreneurs and C-level executives who wanted higher physical and mental performance out of their day-to-day life. Sure enough, it worked. But here's the curious thing. It attracted more than C-level executives and entrepreneurs. It began attracting high-level people from all walks of life. Initially, I said to myself, cool, let's roll with it and keep the name as it is. But the more I thought about it, the more it didn't sit well with me. I couldn't quite articulate why, I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but my intuition just told me there was a disconnect. What I didn't realize at the time was that I was about to step into the center of one of those rare crossroads in time that could possibly change everything. I've had many of those crossroads in my past, and I'm sure many who are listening can relate to similar situations where you've had crossroads in your life. As you may recall from previous podcast episodes, for those who've been following me, I'm the guy that lived 40 years with an undiagnosed pediatric heart condition that was caused by an electrocution injury in my childhood around age 5. It literally left my heart damaged to the point that my heart would stop multiple times per night, but it wasn't discovered until around age 45. The way I figure it, if my heart only stopped one time each night from age 5 to 45, I literally died 14,600 times before the problem got fixed. So that ranks right up there at the top as one of those rare life-changing crossroads. Now, allow me to bring it forward to this crossroads in time that we're at right now. Over the years since I'd left traditional medical practice in an attempt to repair the damage that had been done, not just to my heart, but to my metabolism, my mental health, my adrenals, and the rest of my body, I didn't realize as I was on this journey to restore my health and wellness that I'd been developing a new wellness model in my head. So when I aired the season-ending episode of the Optimal CEO podcast in December of 2019, I was originally thinking that I would relaunch the second season in January of 2020 after a long holiday break. That quote-unquote holiday break turned out to be more than a year, and that's where we are right now. And I'm glad it did, because in February of 2020, as everybody who's listening knows, COVID-19 hit the world hard. At that time, I converted my entire functional medicine practice to telehealth and hunkered down for the storm to blow over. And as crazy as this adjustment time was for all of us, I decided I was going to make lemonade out of lemons. I devoted any spare time I had toward defining the direction I wanted to go with my podcast. What I didn't realize is that it would take me in the direction of possibly realigning the direction of my career, at least for the foreseeable future. And as days of isolation turned into weeks and weeks turned into months, I was able to gain a tremendous amount of clarity and perspective for a lot of things going on in my business. I ignored the news and the craziness going on in the outside world. I simply just tuned it out. What came out of this time of reflection was what I've come to call the Genesis Zone advantage. In the next couple of weeks, I'll be sharing with you my epiphanies about the Genesis Zone Advantage, what it is, but more importantly, what it does for you. I believe with every fiber of my being that the Genesis Zone Advantage is truly a paradigm shift in wellness and prevention. So naturally, in this eureka moment, this crossroads, when all the light bulbs went off and the heavens parted and the angels sang, the name of the old Optimal CEO podcast just didn't quite seem to fit anymore. So the name of the podcast is changing, obviously, as you can tell from the banner at the top. For those of us who've lived through the 80s, or for those who just simply love 80s music, I feel like the artist Prince, when he made the announcement that he was changing his name. So the podcast previously known as the Optimal CEO podcast is getting a new name, a new look and feel, and a new format. Moving forward, the new name of the podcast will be the Genesis Zone Show. I'm proud to say that the Genesis Zone Show will have a completely new format. No more talking head, solo, freestyle format stuff like I did with the Optimal CEO podcast, where it was just me talking. Once I get past these first few transition episodes, I'll be live streaming the Genesis Zone Show on YouTube and Facebook twice per week. So you'll be able to catch it live every Thursday and Friday at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Now, the programming is going to be a little bit different each day. On Thursdays at noon Eastern Standard Time, I'll be conducting interviews. I call them Wellness Warriors segments. There will be two types of Wellness Warriors segments. The first type will be the Servant Leaders segments. In the Servant Leaders segments, the focus will be on interviewing top experts in the areas of emotional and physical higher performance who can share with us their top tips, secrets, tricks, biohacks for getting into higher states of performance and maintaining higher states of performance. The second type of Wellness Warrior segment will be the Overcomers segments. The focus in the Overcomer segments will be on interviewing high achievers who've overcome significant emotional and or physical challenges, lived to tell about it, and are willing to share their secrets for climbing seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Now, on Fridays, noon Eastern Standard Time, the segment format will change up a bit. I call this In the Zone with Dr. B. During these Friday segments, I'll be sharing insider tips, hacks, insights on the latest research. I'll be expounding on the previous day's interview segment, and I'll be answering audience questions related to achieving higher states of performance. For those of you who are listening to the live broadcast or right now, or will be listening to the live broadcast, you'll be able to ask questions or add comments in the comments section on Facebook or YouTube, and I'll be able to see them right here on my screen. For those who will be listening on the podcast platform, you'll be able to find me on Spotify and iTunes soon to be on iHeartRadio. If you listen to the replay on either YouTube or Facebook, just use the hashtag replay when you listen and add your comment or question. That way I know you weren't there live, you listened to it on the replay, and it helps me understand how to better meet your needs. My mission and vision are quite simple. To help high achievers naturally eliminate emotional and physical obstacles so they can optimize their life for higher achievement and live the life of their dreams with abundance. In the next two episodes of the Genesis Zone Show, I'll be sharing my secrets about the Genesis Zone Advantage. In this two-part segment, we will explore what the Genesis Zone Advantage is and what it can do for you. I'll share with you a proprietary method I've developed over my 23 years of clinical practice for cutting through the clutter of emotional and physical obstacles that are impeding your high performance so that you can know exactly which area. Notice I said one area. Which area to focus on first? I think one of the problems we have is that we get so confused because there are so many different areas we could focus on. And what this tool does is it actually distills it down to the one area that needs to be focused on first. And I'll also be sharing with you the key to knowing with absolute certainty which parts of your body's natural hardwired responses can be altered to help you operate at higher levels of peak performance. And here's a hint. 98.9% of people never tap into this secret at the level I've discovered. So tune in next Thursday at noon Eastern Standard Time for more details. Until next time, stay in the zone and move forward with an attitude of gratitude and possibility. More informative, more trusted, and more grateful you spend this time with me. Good day from the Genesis Zone. I'm Dr. Brian Brown.